hard work does not go unseen around here, and I say it all the time, but it really does. They notice when you're working hard, and you guys notice, and that's huge. It really is huge for guys out in the field.
Hi everybody, how you doing? This is Eric Tilghman, the CEO of Tilghman Builders. Welcome back to another episode of the Built Different podcast. I am your host today, and today's episode is one that I've really been looking forward to because it represents exactly what we're trying to build here. So with me here, I have Joe Cunningham.
Hello, everybody.
Joe, welcome to the podcast. So Joe is one of our guys in the field, and what makes his story so powerful is that, how long have you been with us?
About a little over a year.
Little over a year. Okay.
Year and 2 months.
Okay. Before that, you had really no construction experience at all.
Very little. Maybe like 7 months when I was like 16, but nothing serious.
Okay. And before that, you were moving pianos.
Moving pianos. Yep.
Okay. All right. Cool. And so fast forward to today, and I mean, you've really climbed the ranks.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you're a Carpenter 3.
Yes, sir.
That's impressive. That's really impressive. And so, anyway, for us guys, we have a scale. We have different level carpenters. You know, we have an apprentice carpenter, a carpenter 1, carpenter 2, carpenter 3, and then lead carpenter after that. Anyways, for you know, right now you're pretty much leading a project.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's a big deal, especially for a guy that a year ago didn't know anything about it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's pretty cool to look at where I'm at now compared to where I was a year ago. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah,
but
it's awesome.
yeah, you guys set me up for success. So
Cool. Well, it doesn't happen by accident, right? You know, you're kind of one of those guys that just goes. You know, you seem like I know you by now. You're a really driven guy.
That's true. Yes.
And I feel like the company kind of gave you a place to drive.
Yeah, that's very well said. Yes.
Okay. All right. We're gonna unpack all this because there's a lot going on here. But you know, for all the viewers, I mean, Joe takes ownership. You've just climbed the ranks. I know you do a lot of studying after work, and you know, you've really. I'm impressed by your growth.
Thank you.
So the one thing that I want to really dig into here is like, first off, it seems to me like your life has changed a lot over the last year.
Yeah, that's definitely fair to say that. I mean, changed for the better, for sure.
Yeah.
And I couldn't be more happy with where I'm at right now, you know,
Good.
compared to where I was. I mean, I wasn't really in like a bad spot, I would say, a year and a half ago, but I'm just in a much better spot now. Just a spot that I didn't realize I could be at. So
Good. Well, you know, I've been saying that for years. Like, you know, it used to be challenging to hire guys. You know, at this point, it's become pretty easy. I think, you know, a good environment, good systems, good company, it attracts a higher quality person.
Yeah.
You know, but like for a long time, it was a goal of mine, and like I would tell guys like, your life's about to get better. Like, actually, did you ever read the welcome letter that was in your new hire packet?
100%. Yep.
You read it,
Oh, yeah.
And I think in that packet it says like your life's about to change.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. For the better.
And yours did. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. Not everybody's does.
Yeah.
But you saw an opportunity anyway. So I guess really to get started here. I mean, when I was interviewing you. You told me something that I'll never forget. It stuck with me. I remember where I was when you told me, but basically you looked at me and you said, Eric, I'm going to be the best hire you've ever made, or maybe of this year, or something like that. And then you said, you will not regret this.
I remember. Yeah.
What was the fire burning in you at that time? What made you so confident?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, I remember where we were. We were at the winter party, like a week after I was hired, and it was like the first time I got to meet everybody and like get to know people for the, you know, and at the end of the party, I just remember looking around at everything and like, man, I really like feel like I fit in here. And just like me and you had some good conversations that night, and I just felt like I needed to say it to you just because it was kept running through my mind over and over again. It's something that like I feel like a lot of people say or want to say, but like I really knew I meant it, and I knew that I was going to be here and be a great lead carpenter for you one day. You know.
Cool. Very, very cool, man. Well, you weren't wrong. You know, there's been a few people that have done what you've done. You may be doing it at a faster pace. I think you might have the record. But anyway, it's awesome, man. I'm glad you're here. You know, I consider you a friend at this point. I'm excited to see how far you go.
Me too.
So now, you know, you're an energetic dude. You're driven, right? I know who you are. You are a beast. You know, you are not a victim. You take full ownership of your life. You work hard. You study hard. You're a family man. You know, you're a new dad.
Yep.
That puts a fire in any young man.
Should.
Yeah, it should. And so, but like the fire that I see in you today, it wasn't born yesterday and it wasn't born a year ago. So I look back and I think, okay, well, you've been with us a year and 2 months. Okay, so let's go a year and 3 months back, right? Like, weren't progressing in your job, right? You weren't really, right? Like, what's the difference? Like, major improvements in your life over the last year. What is that? Why is that? What do you think?
Well, I mean, I would say like you have a big deal in that, you know, and it goes back to like, you know, just the way you talk to people and the way you want everyone to be better, a better version of themselves. And it's like something like you said, like I always had that in me, and I've always worked to be a better version of myself, but like I was kind of, you know, like misguided or not guided at all. And it's like from what I had, the perspective of myself, I was doing a great job. I was doing everything in my power to be the best father, to be the best partner, or whatever aspect of it was in my life. But you know, like sometimes you don't even realize like what you're not doing or what you could be doing better. And I feel like that's something I learned just from being in this, you know, here we go, culture. You know, it's not just it's not just you, it's everybody. You know, it's the lead carpenters, it's the guys in the office. You know, it's everyone wants to better themselves in this company, and I feel like it's just contagious. You know what I mean? And
that's cool.
And like I said, like you said, like I was kind of born like that. Like, you know, I remember we talked about it. You sent me a podcast maybe 6 months ago saying it was a Joe Rogan podcast about like energetic dogs are easier to train. And like, it's so true, because I did look at myself like, wow, like that's me. Like I'm just 110 miles per hour on everything I do, but I feel like it's an advantage in most things.
Yeah. I think it's a gift, man. What you have is a gift, you know? And I'll say this, man, it's a gift only if there is a purpose. You know, a guy like you or a guy like me or you know, a guy like JP or a guy like Jay, or like without purpose, it's actually dangerous, right? Like I heard once from a different podcast actually about an energetic dog, but one that doesn't have purpose, one that doesn't go out for a walk every day with its owner, or doesn't play fetch every day with its owner, or whatever, doesn't have purpose. And so what that dog ends up doing is digging holes in rose gardens, you know, and like messing stuff up, right? And I'm not the best dog owner, so that actually really hit.
Yeah.
I regret not spending more time training my dog and, you know, whatever. But, you know, so I'm glad you've found some purpose here.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. I mean, like, I don't necessarily not like the version that of myself that I was a year and a half ago, but yeah, I mean, I was just putting the energy towards the wrong things, you know, just not really, you know, where I needed to be or what I needed to be focusing on as far as like everything in my life, you know, my family, my daughter, my job, my career, my everything. So
yeah,
I guess I'm glad I'm putting it towards my energy towards the right way now.
What are you putting it towards? You know,
Well,
what specifically, like what has changed in terms of how you spend your time or what it's on?
I've never been so career driven in my whole entire life to where like I just and I would and if you know me, I want to be the best at everything I do. So
Oh, I
if
know.
it's golf, I want to be the best golfer. If it's throwing a piece of paper in a trash can, I want to be the best at that. But I never had a job where I could I just can't stop learning. Like you know what I mean? Like where I can't be the best at it. I just it's there's always something else to learn, and I feel like it's why I kind of strained it towards golf and love golf so much, just because like every day you learn something new. You can never master it, and I feel like it's like perfect for my brain to just keep working towards it. And I love being as career driven as I am now.
Good,
I love it.
good.
It's like my hobby now.
Yeah, well, yeah, I can tell you got the bug.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's kind of like there's science behind like creating an impossible goal. You know, like it's one of the best ways to scale a company is to have an impossible goal, and you can apply the same thing to your personal life. You know, like golf, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you're never going to be. There's always somebody bigger and better,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so if you can, you know, I don't want to say wrap your purpose in something like that, but find purpose in something like that, then it really occupies you for a long time.
Yeah.
You
Yes.
know, that's great, man.
Yeah.
That's great. So like, um, so why this company, right? I mean, like we met, I think, did Dylan connect us?
Yeah, yeah. Dylan was telling me about Tillman for maybe 2 years before I finally made actually try to join you guys. Because anyone who knew me never thought they thought I was gonna be a piano mover my whole life, and so did I. I thought I'd be a piano. I was comfortable. It was a great company to work for. It's just the ceiling was kind of capped. So like, I didn't really consider ever leaving when I was a kid. I was doing all right, but then and I mean this, Dylan was you have to come work for us. You have to. They're the best. They're different. And I was in carpentry for like a year, 6 months to a year when I was a kid, and like I knew what the trades were like, and I wasn't really interested, fully. And then I talked to you, and I think you hired me almost 2 to 3 months before I actually started working. So I remember how nervous I was, like for that 3 months, like staying at my old job, but knowing that I'm going to start a whole new career, and I was nervous. And then once I finally it took one day. I think one day I was on Dave Jasmine's job, and I was like, man, this is nice. This is exactly what Dylan said it was.
Cool.
And yeah, I haven't looked back since.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's great. Yeah. What made you not want to go back into the trades? You'd done it, and Dylan's pushing you to do it, and you're like, I'm really not interested. What was it?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like even like when I was going to get my tools at Home Depot, I just remember walking into Home Depot and just like having like an eerie feeling in my stomach. Oh man, I didn't miss this place. Like I don't know, maybe I couldn't tell you exactly what it is, but like I just remember just like I just wasn't really as excited as I thought I'd be. And I mean, look at me now, like I watch carpentry videos every day, and I'm like a kid in a toy shop when I'm at Home Depot. I can't, you can't get me out of there. It's just
Yeah.
yeah. I guess I don't know. I don't really know why I was so not scared, but
Yeah.
you know.
Well, it's a rough industry.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
that's it's not very attractive.
Yeah. And the guy I used to do carpentry for, it was just me and one other guy, and he was great, but like it was kind of boring. You know what I mean? Like it was just me and one other guy. Like we didn't really have like much in common. Like we just kind of just worked, and he did great work, but like I wasn't really looking forward to going back to that because I was on a truck with my two best friends every day for 7 years. So
Yeah.
maybe that partakes in it a
You were
little
comfortable.
bit. I was very comfortable.
Yeah. So now you're dumping everything into this, and I'm curious if like, is it all carpentry, or is part of the reason why you are pouring everything into this because you, for the first time in your life, see opportunity?
Yeah, I mean, like I said earlier, it's not having a ceiling, like it's not seeing like, okay, I can go this far. Like it just goes so much farther than just just lead carpenter. It's just there's just a lot more of it in this industry, and I feel like that is definitely a big part of why I'm so driven now more than I ever was.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, you've heard me talk about the big dreams of the company and where we're going and we're scaling and we're, if you can think it and imagine it, it can be yours, and that's true. And
Yeah.
like, you're a prime example of it. There's a bunch of guys that are a good example of it. But like, I think the thing that makes our business really enticing for a person like you is just like what you just said. Like, it's like, yeah, what we see today, there's growth there for you, Joe.
Yeah.
Right? But that doesn't mean anything about 5 years from now. We have no idea what that looks like, and it could be, we don't know how big it'll be, but we feel like we're doing a really great thing for the world. I do. I feel like we're doing a good thing for our team members and therefore for our customers. And so, some companies just want to grow. But like, I feel like everybody on our team, we're excited about growing for the right reasons,
Yeah.
and it keeps everybody excited. And then in the meantime, it keeps the team dialed in, right? Because now everybody's working hard,
Right.
for their own little reasons,
Yeah, and it's nice to work for a company that, like when new guys start, like it's you don't have to lie. You can tell them the truth. Like, yeah, man, like this spot is, you found a great spot. Like, congratulations. Now just work hard, keep your head down, and you'll get what you're doing. It's not, you don't normally, I don't, wasn't usually able to say that, like hard work does not go unseen around here. And I say it all the time, but it really does. They notice when you're working hard, and you guys notice, and that's huge. It really is huge for guys out in the field. Like when you're busting your balls all the time, and like at the end of the day, it's just, you just go home and nothing. You don't get nothing from it. You don't see like you don't have like any incentives or nothing to just keep going. And
Yeah.
it's nice to be able to have, like, even I'm thinking of Eddie right now. Just he was with me all day today, and like he's hungry. Like he's
Yeah,
hungry
I know.
like me, and it's
I've
awesome. And it's nice to be able to tell him the truth. Like, yeah, man, just keep grinding. You'll get there. You will.
Yeah.
Like, they'll notice you, and it's not like I'm telling them a lie. It's nice.
Yeah, that's great. That's great to hear. And I've heard that Eddie's he's got the same thing you got.
Yeah, I've heard
That's
that.
that's cool.
Yeah, all the right questions.
Yeah, that's good. That's something that I try to say over and over. Like, and it's hard to say what you mean. It's because it sounds cliche. It's like, just trust me. Like, put in the work. Like, it will pay. Like, hard work does pay off. It's like, we've all heard that.
Yeah.
But it's like, no, every little thing pays off.
Mm-hmm.
Going home and watching a little 15-minute video about framing a roof pays off. Is it going to pay off tomorrow? I don't know. But one day it will. You're going to be framing a roof and you're going to be like, I remember this.
Yep.
Right?
Exactly.
And it's just this slow chipping away,
Yeah. Trust the process.
Everything matters, like, I don't know what book I'm going to read next, but I'm sure and if it doesn't pay off when I finish it, like if it doesn't pay off that month, maybe it pays off, 12 months from then. Like, maybe it applies or something,
It's a good point. Yeah.
But it all matters, and
Yeah.
it all comes down to our decisions, and, I don't know. It just, all of it compounds.
Yeah, it does, especially here. I mean, it's not like that everywhere. Like,
Yeah.
you could be the hardest worker, and like the guy sitting next to you is just, you know someone, and he's he's above you, because it doesn't matter. So,
Mm-hmm.
and that's
Yeah.
just, I haven't been many places in my life, but that's usually how it works out. So,
Yeah, there's a lot of like gatekeeping
yeah,
and
Yeah.
keeping people down.
Mm-hmm.
I like to think that we uplift each other.
Yeah.
And like, but I don't get to see like the field operations. So like, you're the first field guy in the whole company. Congratulations, you're in here.
I'll take it.
But like, what? I don't know. How do you get recognized, right? Like, I mean, you work hard. You do that for a few weeks. Like, what's the reaction or response from the lead carpenter? Like, what does that look like?
Yeah, I mean, I would say every lead is different, but I mean, really, it doesn't take much. It doesn't take much effort to be noticed. Like, and what I mean by that is, like, you don't have to be the hardest working guy on a job, the whole job, to get recognized. Like, it really is, like, every little bit is, everything's recognized. Like if I showed up at 7 a.m. for the lead carpenter and I helped them shovel the driveway, like that is like, everything's right. It's kind of hard. It's hard to put in words.
Exactly what
You
you're
know what I'm trying
saying.
to say?
Oh, I know exactly what you're
And like,
saying.
and I would say like a guy like Gary, who's like I would consider him my favorite lead. I can go above and beyond, and like I'll never think he notices once. And the next thing you know, there's like another lead carpenter 3 months later telling me how great I did on Gary's job. I was like, wow. And it's like, and then a guy like Bill, he'll tell you right away, like, oh, good job, man. Like, good job. And it's like,
Right.
and like, it's, you just, I don't know. I feel like every lead is a little different when it comes to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, they all have their own flavor. But like what you just described is exactly the thing. It's like, it's hard to like want to grow yourself as a person or to advance in your career because you're kind of flying blind,
Yeah.
right? Like there's a lot of faith involved. Am I wrong?
No, for sure.
Like there's a lot of faith involved, and like you showed up for Gary and shoveled the driveway and showed up early and all these things, and then you left his job and you went to a different job, and then you did that again and again and again and again, and then 3 months later you finally find out that, oh, Gary noticed that I did that, so much so that he told the other lead carpenters. You don't get your payoff right away, and so there has to be a lot of faith involved.
Yeah.
That you're doing the right thing.
I would agree. Yeah.
It's cool, man. That's awesome. Let's see here. What's been the what kind of a okay, this is perfect. We just talked about the differences of lead carpenters in the field, and you're getting closer to that, right? What kind of a leader would you want to be? Would you want to be like Gary is tough love, right?
Yeah.
He calls balls and strikes.
Yep.
He'll let you do 7 things right maybe before he says good job.
Yeah.
And then there's Bill, who you do one thing right and he's on it.
Yeah.
Good job, man. That was great.
Yeah.
And then there's Savlot, who is different from both of them. And then there's Steve, who's a great leader, but he's different from both of them. And so on.
Yeah.
Dave Jaspin and
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I want to say I want to be like, my own version of a leader, like a different category, like, oh, Joe's doing it a little differently. But I mean, really, like, I want to take the best from all the qualities of all the leads, and I think they all are very similar in how they run a project and how they lead a crew. But like you said, everyone's a little slightly different. And like, I guess like something that I want to like really make important is like, I want to have a relationship with everyone, and I want everyone to feel like they can come to me outside of work, and if they're having a problem in their life, like, and like, not that we can't do that with all the leads, but like, I want to be really like, I want to be a friend. I want to be more of an equal and most of the time. And I know I can't always be like that, but I feel like that's something I'm striving for. Like, I really try to care about these, and I do care about these guys, like, like that are working on my career, like I want to know what they're going through and if I can maybe help them, or and that's something that because like the carpentry that comes, like, everyone knows how to do carpentry here, but it's like, and all, like you said, all the leads are different, but that's how I want to be a little different. I want to be someone they can come to talk to about anything.
That's good, man. That's gold.
And I get that from the Army too, because my buddy's in the Army. His name's Brandon. He's a sergeant in the Army, and like, and I used to be a leader on the truck, and it's that's what separates them. Like especially the guys in the Army. Like he said, the best sergeants everyone can talk to about anything, and he's like, that's like the biggest thing he noticed. So I kind of took that to heart. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. That always excited me. And because you've heard me talk to the team. I mean, I can only talk so long about the company before I'm like, what's happening in your personal life? How can I help you? What YouTube video can I send you that'll, whatever. I think that's a big part of leadership. I think that makes a unique leader. I think I heard a quote once from Denzel Washington, and he says, "Each one teach one." When you pick yourself up and you find yourself near the top, reach back, lift somebody else up, and I just love the
I like that.
that.
That's awesome.
And you can tell that I love that because of the way the company, right? This the company is a reflection of whatever interests I have, right? And that's one of them. So,
Yeah.
I'm thrilled to hear you say that. I think that's a great leadership quality. I think, it's important. It makes it harder because it's easier to be a lead when you're a little bit detached. But if you kind of put yourself in there, you're signing up for a harder life.
Oh, I understand that. It's really like learning how to ride that fine line.
Yeah.
It's like something that I've been working on. So
Good. It's great.
And it's not that hard because I don't have to fake liking these guys. We have great guys here. I mean, and I happen to be around the same age as a lot of them, so like that makes it easier. And it's like I said, there's great guys in this company. I've not one that I don't like, besides maybe Gary.
Yeah, right.
That's a joke.
Yeah, we know you guys secretly are father and son. That's awesome. Why we talked about this earlier. I should have prepped you for this.
Okay.
But we had our leadership meeting earlier today, and we touched on our why, right?
Yeah.
You're signing up for, it might seem all great, but boy, leadership is lonely. It can be at times, right? If you're a good leader, it shouldn't feel lonely all the time. I've heard it's lonely at the top. Well, not if you're a good leader, right? Because you'll share that burden with your team. But it's hard. There's going to be stress involved in a leadership position, and as I said, I know that you're really working your butt off to get to that, and I'm curious why. What motivates you?
Well, I mean, first and foremost, I have a family, and me and my partner Sandra is very similar in the aspect of we didn't really have much growing up, so that's a big why. I mean, really for her, especially because she deserves the world, and I have a daughter, and she's had a pretty awesome life so far, and I can't be more proud of me and Sandra for that. So. I mean, you kind of hit it on the nail on the head earlier when you said, I have a 3-year-old daughter. That's my big why. And I mean, selfishly, like I want to have a pretty cool life myself. I want to go play golf any chance I get. I want to retire on a golf course. I want to be able to set myself up, not just my family, but myself. You know what I mean? And I don't know. I don't say that very often, but it feels kind of good to say that.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. That's an honest answer.
Yeah.
It's an honest answer. There's, that all comes along the way, and it's really whatever you imagine it could be,
But yeah, I mean, the days that are hard, I'm not thinking about playing golf. I'm thinking about my 3-year-old Ariel.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking about. That's my why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the why is so important, and Simon Sinek talks about it. We talked about that earlier, but without it, you would give up.
Yeah.
You just would give up. If you were my why, and you have to be honest with yourself. My why is, I just want to be the boss. Okay, well,
Yeah.
that's not a strong why, and that only takes you so far.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or I want to make more money. Okay, but why do you want to make more money?
Yeah.
Oh, you want to make more money because you adore your little daughter and your wife. Okay, now that's a strong why, right? Because I feel like a why, a strong why has to involve somebody other than yourself. It can't be about you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I always said if your only purpose in life is to serve yourself, then you serve no purpose.
You're exactly right. Yeah.
I
That's
live
great.
by that.
You're a smart dude, man. I wasn't as smart as you when I was 20. What are you?
I'll be 26 on Wednesday.
Oh, you'll be 26?
Yep.
Why do you look so young?
Good looking.
I know you are. Let's see. Okay, let's kind of lean into some advice for others. I would hope that some of our team members would watch this podcast, and if not, hopefully people from other organizations or even other industries. The purpose of this podcast is to basically influence other business owners to run their business in a similar way.
Okay.
Through empathy and kindness and excellence and accountability and honesty and transparency. But But like, let's talk to their employees now, right?
Okay.
What advice would you give another guy, young guy, hungry, but like there's no real good path forward? Or there is, or like one just showed up.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think it starts with figuring out your why, and maybe even like writing it down. Like
Yeah.
and not just just like have what you really want to focus on in life and what your goals are. That's huge, and I mean that's in every aspect of life. I don't think just trades or carpentry. It's like you got to really know why you're doing something, and after that, then just try. I don't really know what else to say. I mean, I'm bringing up Eddie again.
Yeah.
Me and Eddie are like best friends now, but but he asked me even today. He's like, what advice do you have for me, man? I was like, really? And like, just you got to keep your head down and you got to trust the process. You got to put faith into who you surround yourself by, whether it's your company or your family. You got to put faith in them, and you just got to work. You just got to put your head down and work and trust the process, because it will come if you're surrounded by the right people. And if you're not, then maybe that's the first thing you gotta work on. Like who am I surrounded? Because that's a lot of who you are is who you're surrounded by, and I feel like a lot of people would benefit if they knew that.
Yeah. Yeah. You're on the money. Cool. Very good. Um, what would you say is the difference? Like the major difference. We're gonna lean into culture for just a second, and I'm gonna go off script because I got nothing left here. But what would you say? What's your favorite? Let me stop. Let me restart. What does culture mean? What does that even mean? We talk about it. We know what it means, but we kind of don't ever define it.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like hard to put in words, but how I would say culture is, it's like, it's like how it's like it's a standard at this point. It's not a slogan, it's a standard. It's how we treat each other, it's how we solve problems. It's just a day to day how we run this business. And I would say, like, take it as simple as, like, if you have a bad relationship with someone at work, then it's just gonna trickle down the line. It's just bad relationship, bad work, unhappy client. It just run down that train. And I think if you it all starts with that. It's really just like, it's just the company standard. It's just how you treat each other.
Yeah, and it trickles into your personal life. I'd be curious. Has your personal life improved? Like, because like you're working with some guy you don't like, or some boss that doesn't give you a chance. They keep holding you down, and then you grow negative, and then you do bad work, and then blah, 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 and then you bring it home, and you're stressed out, and you take it out on your wife, and then it compounds. It all compounds.
That's so true. Yeah.
So how has your life just in general improved here?
100%. 100%. I mean, 100%. It's not even a question. I went from, I love my old job, but I mean, this new job, it's just so different. Like, it's just a weight off my shoulders. Like, it's like, I go to work, I try as hard as I can. I like the people I work with. I'm noticed for how hard I work. It's just so easy to come home in a good mood after this, rather than, just going to you're going to your job, just going to your 9 to 5. It's a lot more than just a 9 to 5 here.
Yeah.
It's your career. It's who you are, not just your job. It kind of like, and it's something you mentioned maybe a year ago, and like I really, really, I loved it. It was that you said, if someone sees you outside of work wearing a Tilghman hoodie or a Tilghman shirt, they know who you are, what kind of person you are. And that really hit me deep, because it's so true. It's like that. I love being for a company that, like, I'm proud to wear the shirt. Like, you'll see me at a party in a Tilghman shirt. I'm proud to wear the name. So
cool, man.
yeah.
That's the goal. That's the goal. That's when you really have a brand. You really have a brand when it means something, right?
Yeah.
Like when I go to Starbucks, I see the people behind the counter. I know a handful of things that are true about those people, right? They're going to be polite. They're going to, right? Like, I know what to expect. And yeah, I just think that's kind of like the big goal is like, I have this like dream of like, there's like a line around the block to try to get a job here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's not, I don't want to say it hasn't happened yet, because people that interview here are really excited.
Yeah.
You know, but like that's the goal. You know, so thanks for saying that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, no problem. I mean, it's true. It's hard not to, you know, walk a little taller after working here. It really isn't. Like,
cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, man.
Well, I think we should wrap it up. Joe, your story is exactly why we believe in what we're building. You're a prime example of, you know, this is the goal. You are the goal. What you've done is exactly what we want to happen. You know, we want you to grow so that when an opportunity opens up, you'll be ready for it. And the company can't grow without everybody in the company growing simultaneously.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And everybody can't grow if the company's also not growing. So we need each other, we need the company, and the company needs us. Right?
Correct.
It's really a magical formula.
Yeah, man.
So
well, I appreciate you giving me this opportunity, man. I really do.
Yeah.
I don't thank you enough.
Yeah, you're welcome, man. You were right. You know, you told me what I could expect, and you haven't let me down. I'm glad I know you. I consider you my friend. You know, and you know, I care about your family, and I'm rooting for you, man.
Thanks,
man. You know, I know Sandra's into it, and like, you know, she likes the culture, and she has talked to me about it.
Yep.
I hope she's excited for you.
Yep. My biggest fan.
Good. You're a lucky man.
I am.
So, well, thanks for joining me today. And thank you for putting your trust in our company and sharing our vision for the future. And I want to tell you something here on the podcast, Joe. First time I'm ever doing this, but you've officially been promoted to a lead carpenter.
Nice.
Right now. It's a done deal.
Awesome.
Yep. There will be an increase in your pay along with the promotion. And that's it. You're an incredible guy, man.
Thanks, man. That's awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Everyone, as always, thanks for staying tuned. Stay positive, be nice, and step out of your comfort zone. Bye.